Does finally come back and get in the cage and want to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, you know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ. It's very small compared to me, you know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight.
And I hope Paddy is gonna lose, because if Paddy wins, it's gonna be a problem for me again.
Why do you think so?
I think he's gonna try and avoid me.
You say if he wins against Justin or if he wins against Ilia?
No, against Justin. Against Ilia, he never can beat Ilia.
Okay.
No way.
So you think if Paddy wins the interim belt, he'll try not to fight you?
Yeah. UFC gotta push him probably.
Really?
Paddy Pimblett is locked and loaded for his upcoming showdown against Justin Gaethje at UFC 384. This is where both fighters battle it out for the interim belt. The anticipation is through the roof, and Paddy's already got his sights set beyond this fight. He's thinking about Ilia's eventual return and wants that matchup right after he handles Justin's business. What's interesting is how Paddy views Ilia Topuria's comeback. He's not planning any tune-up fights when Topuria gets back. Instead, he wants to go straight at him with maximum violence. For Pimblett, the path is crystal clear. Take care of Gaethje first, then immediately pivot to Topuria and make sure his return is as brutal as humanly possible.
I wasn't too surprised. I know Ilia's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it, know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting, it's nothing to do with being in the cage, so all that around his family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him, but when he does finally come back and get in the cage, I want to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, you know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ, and that's the way I see it.
So that interim belt to you will feel undisputed?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Melissa Paddy Pimblett is sizing up Ilia's physical dimensions and thinks his size gives him a massive advantage over Ilia Topuria. He points out that Ilia is compact and narrower, emphasizing that weight divisions exist for legitimate reasons. Pimblett issues a warning that if Ilia decides to step up, he might find himself in serious danger.
His support, essentially he wants you to win, he wants that fight. Have you allowed yourself to think of what a fight with Ilia looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well, you know what I mean? Like, he's very small compared to me, you know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight. So, like, there's weight classes for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face.
Furthermore, Matt Brown has concerns about Ilia Topuria, potentially struggling if he rushes back too quickly, especially while dealing with personal challenges from his very public divorce proceedings. Brown thinks Ilia might return before his head is completely in the right place, which could lead to a loss because his focus won't be entirely on the fight itself. Brown admits this is a risky prediction, and says he's torn on the matter while recognizing Ilia's obvious talent and fight IQ. Still, he points out that fighters hate sitting on the sidelines, and that eagerness to get back in there can sometimes backfire spectacularly.
I have, and that is Ilia comes back, but the bolder prediction is he loses. He comes back too soon, still dealing with all this bullshit, and ends up losing because he's not in the right headspace. But I think Ilia's a smart guy. That's why I'm, kind of on the fence about this prediction a little bit, right? I'm not saying like, I really believe this prediction or anything. But man, fighters don't like not fighting. They don't like sitting on the sideline.
Matt Brown draws from his own experience, explaining that watching fight cards from the outside is absolutely torturous. All you want is to be back in that octagon, competing. He believes Ilia will feel that exact same pull, even though Ilia is physically prepared and healthy. Brown notes he's still dealing with significant personal turmoil. He predicts that competitive drive will eventually push Ilia to return prematurely when the timing isn't optimal, and acknowledges it's a bold statement, but believes it's realistic given these specific circumstances.
Speak from my own experience, every time I got injured and someone wants to watch a UFC card, it's hard to watch. You can't sit there and watch it. You want to be the guy in there. You want to be the one that people are watching. And I think he's going to have that. He's healthy. He's not, it's obviously he's dealing with some pretty heavy shit, but he's healthy. He wants to come back and compete and fight. and I think he'll end up breaking to that, and he'll end up coming back. But it's not going to be a good time, and he's going to be dealing with and that's kind of two bold predictions.
Arman Tsarukyan reveals he's actually rooting for Justin Gaethje to defeat Paddy Pimblett. He explains that if Justin wins, a fight between them becomes much more likely, since Paddy would probably avoid that matchup entirely, unlike Justin, who seems more willing to accept difficult challenges.
Me to get hurt because I'm not gonna fight him. I'm a nightmare for him, and he knows that if we're gonna fight, he's gonna lose, and he's gonna try not to fight me on his whole life. And I hope Justin Gaethje gonna knock him out and send him back to England, and he can eat his I don't know what he's eating there, chicken or whatever.
Arman Tsarukyan isn't concerned about Justin Gaethje's reported staph infection problems. He stresses that serious health issues rarely become public knowledge, and notes that many fighters deal with staph infections regularly, so it doesn't worry him at all.
When these pictures showed up last week of like a thing on his neck, did you inquire about it? Did you?
No, if something real happened, never gonna post. They never post like this thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
But sometimes there's like a staph infection, and the
Yeah,
internet.
but
finds
everybody's fighting with staph infection.
Sure.
So.
But if they called you, let's just say hypothetically today, to fight on that card, could you do it?
I'm here because of that.
You're here to wait.
Yeah.
But you're not a backup fighter. You're not going to weigh in and all this.
No, because I did on the June and nothing happened. Just a waste of my energy.
Tsarukyan explains how pulling out of the fight with Islam Makhachev ultimately became a career-defining moment for him. He clarifies that the decision generated massive attention, receiving both support and backlash, which significantly raised his profile. He also credits subsequently training at Kamaya's facility as part of his development.
It was a pullout.
You think that was the turning point?
Yeah.
You think that made you popular?
Yeah, it was popular when I pulled out.
Why? People were talking about you.
Yeah, because it was a big fight. When I pulled out, they started talking about someone started support me, someone started hate me, and then from that I started getting bigger. And then I went to the Hamzat's camp. It helped me too with Hamzat. And
How did that happen?
we just became friends.
Okay.
Yeah, from Thailand. And then we started training together. And then I wanted to come to LA to prepare for the UFC fight, for the belt. So he came, he liked it, and he stayed there. We won the belt. So now I'm looking for his fight.
Yeah.
Help him and to be close to him.
He also mentions that grappling competitions matter less than UFC appearances. No weight cutting means no stress involved. That's not his primary focus anyway. For months leading up to fights, that's all that consumes his thoughts, because that's where his heart is, and championship gold is his ultimate goal.
This is like training session. Even like, because I don't cut weight.
Yeah.
If I lose, okay, I lose. I don't care.
Right.
But
You have an ego, right? You want to be successful.
but it's not my sport, you know.
Yeah.
If I lose in the freestyle wrestling, it's okay, you know. But UFC, it's I locked in before 2 months.
Right.
And I think about that fight all day because that's sport that I live for, you know.
Right.
And it's my goal to be UFC champion, and I treat my training camp myself is different, you know. But in the wrestling, you don't get hurt, you know, and it's easier. It's easier to wrestle, you know, for me. But MMA is hard, and pressure, media, and like if you lose, you're done, you know. Like everybody's waiting when you lose.
Right.
That's why you wanna be at the best, and yeah, it's completely different.
Arman's chances of getting booked again are looking pretty grim, since he probably hasn't won back Dana White's trust yet. Despite this setback, Chael Sonnen defends Arman Tsarukyan and encourages people to give him another opportunity. He highlights how Arman accepted the backup fighter role, waited patiently, and stayed ready to jump in immediately if needed. Sonnen emphasizes that this dedication deserves recognition and forgiveness. noting that he personally forgives Arman and hopes others will follow suit.
In 2 weeks as a backup fighter for UFC 324. What's his situation?
Can we please forgive him? Whatever he did to get himself in this weird purgatory, can we also remember that he agreed to be a backup fighter, that he did a training camp, that he flew out to Las Vegas, he went through the commission, he made weight, he was ready to go in on a moment's notice. You get something for that. I want him to get something. I want him recognized. I forgive Arman Tsarukyan. I want other people to forgive him.
Paddy Pimblett believes Max Holloway demonstrated exactly how to beat Justin Gaethje in striking exchanges. He feels completely confident about standing and trading with him, viewing Max's performance as the perfect blueprint. Pimblett is convinced his strategy will be effective and predicts he'll finish Gaethje within 3 rounds.
That he wants to keep this on the feet. We know his knockout power, but your submission skills are so slick. Do you want to take it to the ground?
No, I'll keep it on the feet with him. Like, there's the blueprint there to beat him. Max done it, and everyone underestimates my strike, and everyone thinks I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna take him down, and I'm not. Like, he had an absolute war with Chandler, and I Chandler up. So I know MMA math doesn't work, but you'll see come Jan 24th. And we have a perfect game plan, and we finish him within 3.
Paddy Pimblett admits being a huge Justin Gaethje fan, calling him a fighter that every real MMA enthusiast respects. He described Gaethje as his favorite fighter's favorite fighter, praising his entertainment value and must-watch appeal every single time he competes. For Pimblett, the idea of sharing the cage with someone he's admired for years feels surreal. He sees this fight as exactly the type of opportunity he dreamed about long before reaching this level.
You got a big challenge ahead of you first with Justin Gaethje. Were you a Justin Gaethje fan prior to any thought of fighting him?
I am a Justin Gaethje fan, not was, I am.
Yeah.
And anyone who is an MMA fan and isn't a Justin Gaethje fan isn't an MMA fan. Like, I always say, he's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters, one of the best fighters that you can watch. And the fact that I'm now getting in there against him is...
Just engage, he shares his mindset about the upcoming bout. Regarding Paddy Pimblett, he talks about entering fights with laser-focused tunnel vision, treating it like life or death combat, and blocking out any thoughts of Ilia Topuria or external distractions.
He says Scousers don't get knocked out. What do you say to that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Have you allowed...
I will try to test that theory.
Have you allowed yourself to think ahead to, once you win, if you get the win, Ilia? No thought?
Nope, I've said it before, I don't ever plan on being alive after the fight, so if that's how it ends, that's how it ends.
Pimblett embraces his unconventional methods, describing himself as awkward and somewhat strange. He explains that he doesn't grapple or strike like anybody else, doing everything according to his own unique system. Because of this, he believes nobody can find sparring partners who truly replicate his style, making his approach impossible to duplicate during training camp preparation.
Talk that, Justin Gaethje has good wrestling. He uses it very well defensively. Can you foresee him maybe being able to stop your takedowns?
No.
No.
I don't wrestle like a normal person. I don't shoot double legs and single legs and wrestle like a normal person does. I do everything differently. I'm not normal. So he's not gonna be able to get a sparring partner in what grapples like me or strikes like me, because I'm a weirdo.
Fair enough.
It's the way it is, but
he did call your style awkward, actually.
I'm honest, Val, and I'm very awkward. You can't really get a sparring partner in to do me because I'm so awkward. So I'm looking forward to fighting him. As I say, he's a legend. He's someone I've always loved watching. So to get the chance to actually get in the cage and fight with him is unbelievable. Like, I can't wait, and to have Justin Gaethje on my resume is going to be something that'll last forever. You know what I mean? It'll be part of my legacy, and I'm looking forward to it. I just hope he doesn't retire once I beat him.
Justin Gaethje, he wants a rematch against Max Holloway and hopes Max defeats Charles Oliveira in their upcoming bout. Additionally, he wants Ilia to move up in weight permanently, clearing the division for him to face Holloway for championship gold.
Max Holloway for the BMF belt, a belt that you've held before. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Yeah, I hope Max wins. I hope Ilia goes up, and then I can fight Max on the White House card and take the BMF belt and the championship.
Oh, there you go.
Similarly, Arman Tsarukyan also wants to fight whoever wins between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway for the BMF championship belt. If Ilia Topuria doesn't return until summer, he points out that Ilia only fights once per year and he refuses to sit around waiting, claiming the BMF title, meanwhile, would represent a huge opportunity for his career.
Third thing is, what if Ilia comes back in the summertime, right? And now you've got an interim champion, and usually the interim champion will fight the actual champion. You're neither of those. That means we're talking about another fight happening, and you're not fighting for the belt, and now we're talking about the back end of the year.
Yeah, but maybe BMF title.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You don't want that, right? You want the real title.
Yeah, I want a real title, but I don't want to wait until the end of the next year. And then Ilia, he fights once a year. Maybe he defend his title in June, and then he say, okay, I'll fight next year in June. And then what I can do, just stay. And I'm not that young to wait a lot too. So if they give me BMF title, it would be great too. If Charles Oliveira wins, so it's gonna be good. We got the story, and just get that belt, and then the real belt.
Justin Gaethje addresses rumors about retiring if he doesn't get his title shot, admitting he reacted emotionally and took things too personally. He explains the situation was partly influenced by how his management team presented it, and acknowledges he may have spoken from pure emotion. Gaethje recognizes that fighters can be emotional and petty sometimes, stating he felt he deserved better treatment, which is why it bothered him so much.
You'd said if you didn't get a title shot next that you might retire. Was there any truth to that? And if so, is giving you this interim title shot kind of said, okay, I feel like I'm getting what I deserve now?
Well, I definitely, I got what I asked for. It was more my manager put me in that, but I mean, I probably said it, but it was, we're emotional beings, and we're petty. We don't get to where I'm at or where these fighters are at without being petty. I take things personal, and I thought I had earned something, and so I was trying to stand up.
He also mentioned that if he gets knocked out one more time, he would likely hang up the gloves for good. He explained that getting knocked unconscious the first time made him reevaluate his career trajectory, noting, "This isn't the beginning, but rather the final chapter." Gaethje emphasized the critical importance of protecting his long-term health, trusting his team and family to look out for his best interests, and knowing when to walk away before the sport takes more than it gives back.
One more knockout. I went to sleep. Before that, I'd never been put to sleep. If I would get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits.
Really? So you're drawing a line?
That's been my line. Yeah, it never happened. So it wasn't like if I get knocked out, I'm quitting. But once I got knocked out, 37 years old. If I was 20, 27, 30, this would be a different story. But this is not the beginning. This is definitely the end of my career, and it's been such an amazing thing. Obviously, they'll use and abuse you in this sport, and you have to protect yourself. And I obviously have created a team. I got my family and my coaches, and they all have my best interests in at hand. And I've always told them that I'm in it till they say I don't have it no more, or whenever I feel like my younger self, the hunger of my younger self can beat the skills that I have now.
Meanwhile, Arman suggests he might potentially drop down to featherweight if an opportunity emerged to compete for a title. He explains that cutting to 205 pounds wouldn't be easy, but fighting for a championship at that weight would make it worth serious consideration. For Arman, significant opportunities always remain the primary focus, and a featherweight title fight would definitely qualify as worthwhile.
I'm not too big for 155, so maybe one day I'll go down for 145 even.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can make it just for title fight.
Just for title fight?
Yeah.
You versus Volkanovski?
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Upskick. Short.
Yeah,
upskick.
yeah. Because of the size.
Like you see the video, I was sparring with
Oh,
guy.
I saw that. Yes.
Easy upskick.
Yes, I know. Who is that guy, by the way?
Oh, he's a strong guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he trains with us. And when I saw him in the mouth, I said I gotta train with you all day because I gotta get used to shoot short legs.
Sure.
Alexander Volkanovski has also fought at 155, so if Arman is thinking about going down, fans believe Volk could similarly move up in weight. However, the featherweight champion explains why another lightweight opportunity isn't in his immediate future. He states that while he would accept the fight if offered, he doesn't believe he deserves a shot right now. Volkanovski plans to focus on securing 2 to 3 more victories over the coming months before considering a return to challenge for lightweight gold.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from exactly. Obviously, I guess whether people are just going off what I say, like I'm like, how many more do I have? You know, if I was to get beaten up, am I gonna, come back to fight? No, you know what I mean? But that's not my plans, you know what I mean? Unless some, things go horrendously wrong. I'm planning on going back out there. Whether the next one, taking on an undefeated fighter in the UFC or something like that, I mean, that's appealing. Maybe that could be one that I finish up on. But right now, I plan on everything going well, getting my hand raised, hopefully taking minimal damage so I can have a quick turnaround and still fighting. So the plan is definitely to retire, you know what I mean? So that's, I don't know where that comes from.
Volkanovski plans to finish Diego Lopes quickly and efficiently, minimizing damage while securing a fast turnaround opportunity. He sees a rapid victory as his chance to book another fight, soon possibly against Movsar Evloev or Lerone Murphy.
And he's a dangerous guy. He's tough. We see now, he can take a good punch. But I plan on going out there. I don't take any damage, and I want to have a quick turnaround. Try and have the quick turnaround that I wanted last time, and then maybe we can do it with someone like Movsar or Lerone Murphy. And then again, I know they'll be disappointed, but their fight won't be too far away because I'll make sure.
Volkanovski also explained why Diego Lopes got the title shot ahead of Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev, pointing out that their matchup still guarantees fireworks. He mentioned that Murphy and Movsar were likely scheduled to fight each other, and if that happens, he's happy to wait and face whoever emerges victorious from that contest next.
Just beat this guy in your last fight, and it wasn't a controversial fight or anything like that. Did it take some time to get, a little bit revved up for this challenge?
Not really. I mean, I'm going to fight whoever. Whoever it is, I'll step up. Obviously, I'm going to look at how people, maybe legacy-wise and all that, would I rather an undefeated fighter like a Movsar or a, Lerone Murphy or something like that? Yeah, maybe. But I know this is still going to be an exciting fight. And I can just, fight if I think they might be fighting. I'm not too sure. I think Lerone Murphy and Movsar might be fighting. And if that's the case, I'll just fight the winner of that. Obviously I've got to take care of business 1st of February.
Volkanovski also discusses his career trajectory, stating he's involved with various projects outside of fighting that are proving very successful financially. He confirms his fighting has always been about providing for his family's future. Volkanovski believes he still possesses the ability to compete at elite levels. Mentioning how people at the gym are amazed by his training intensity, he concludes that he's still performing at a high level and will continue moving forward, while keeping future plans flexible.
If he wins against Justin Gaethje, he could see a world where you'll want to go up and fight him at 155. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, if it's offered to me, of course I'm gonna, I'll fight for the lightweight title. But I mean, as everyone knows, I'm pretty real with everything. Right now, it's like, do I deserve a shot at the lightweight title already? You know what I mean? Like right now, it's like, no, I know I don't. So it's not something that I'm planning. And like I said, I'm not planning to fight for another, 2-3 years. So I feel like for me to deserve a shot like that, I'm going to need another 2-3 wins. And then, maybe I'm back in a position where I can fight for, I deserve a shot at that lightweight title. I don't believe I deserve that right now. So that's why it's not.
That wraps up today's breakdown. Drop your thoughts about these upcoming fights in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest UFC news and updates.